Welcome to Sunday Baseball on Fox Sports Midwest. We are the Warriors. Today the Cardinals are in Cincinnati to face the Reds. Go Reds!
This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball from the Queen City of Cincinnati, Ohio. We're at the Great American Ballpark, and a four-game series comes to a close today. It's the St. Louis Cardinals and the Cincinnati Reds. The Cardinals, they've dropped 3 straight, 8 of their last 10. The lead in the Central has shrunk to 2.5 over the Pittsburgh Pirates. With the Matt Hungarian Albraboski, I'm Dan McLaughlin, and welcome to St. Louis Cardinals baseball. We can go through all the numbers, the struggles. Bottom line is, big game today, and the ace of the staff is on the mound trying to stop this 3-game losing skid, and that is Michael Wacha.
Well, you really can use that definition of a stopper, because already this season, 4 different times he stopped a 2-game losing streak or more. And we got the right guy on the mound, because here in Cincinnati, Wacha owns the Reds. He's 3-0 this year with an ERA at .89, so he's the right man to turn this around.
It is Michael Wacha. Raisel Iglesias will go for Cincinnati. A youth movement in the lineup today. More on that coming up before first pitch. think about it, Brandon Moss, Mark Reynolds, Johnny Peralta combined 1 for their last 51. So the youngsters are in that lineup today. And that means Greg Garcia at shortstop, hitting .375 in his last 10. For Tommy Pham, he'll get the start in left field. It's his first starting assignment since September 2nd. Stephen Piscotty, last time the Cardinals won, he was the hero. He's riding a 5-game hitting streak. That trio in the lineup today. Baseball comes your way next. It's brought to you by Budweiser. Make a plan to make it home. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And visit your local Mid-America Chevy dealers for great prices on our all-new 2015 vehicles today. Jim Hayes is here. So is Al Rabowski. My name is Dan McLaughlin. 64 degrees here in the Queen City at the Great American Ballpark. The St. Louis Cardinals a lead of 2.5 over the Pittsburgh Pirates, 5.5 in front of Chicago. And we're underway in Game 4. And it's a strike to Matt Carpenter from Raisel Iglesias.
Iglesias 0 for 2 against the Cardinals this year. And that'll be lifetime as he made his major league debut earlier this year. He's from Cuba.
And a 1-1 pitch to Matt Carpenter. Off-speed pitch, had him out in front. Coming off a rough start against Pittsburgh. That was back on September 8th. 3 innings, 5 earned. But prior to that, it'd been very good. And a strikeout of Carpenter to start the afternoon. A look at the Cardinals lineup. You just saw Carpenter followed by Stephen Piscotty riding a 5-game hit streak. And then Jason Hayward. Yadier Molina will bat cleanup, followed by Greg Garcia. Tommy Pham, his first start since early September. Then John Jay, Colton Wong, and the pitcher Michael Wacha. On the bench, it is loaded up on both sides with expanded rosters. The Cardinals have dropped 8 of their last 10. And you think about the offense, which has struggled for the better part of this season, but the pitching has dominated. The pitching is not dominating right now. Some of these flaws are being shown.
And one of the reasons the pitching is not being shown that way is because the defense has been faltering too. Sometimes they go hand in hand, but for the most part, the pitching has been outstanding, and the defense has been, more than adequate.
Calling the balls in strikes, Greg Gibson. Chad Fairchild down at first. Pat Hoberg at second. Jim Joyce, the crew chief, down at third. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Ripped left side and off the glove of Frazier and a base hit into left field. Now 6 in a row that Piscotty has hit safely in. Look at the Reds defensively. Duvall is in left field. Hamilton, the speedster, in center. Jason Bourgeois is in right. So Jay Bruce on the bench. Todd Frazier at third. Suarez the start at shortstop. Ivan De Jesus Jr. at second. Joey Votto, he's at first. What a second half he's had. Barnhart behind the plate. That's presented by Dobbs.
I saw Jay Bruce not in the lineup. I checked what his numbers are against Walken.
Slowly hit back to the pitcher, and that's thrown into center field. Iglesias, his second error this year. And maybe that's what the Cardinals need to get something going here.
Oh, absolutely. They got to take advantage, though. They've had base runners on in this series, but not gotten the big hit. So it's a change day. Right off the end of the bat. Plenty of time for Iglesias, but he didn't have that little crow hop. He throws wild to his shortstop covering. And the Cardinals have something going with just one out and runners at first and second.
And we talked about it, the middle of the lineup struggling recently with Moss, Reynolds, Peralta. Of course, repeating again, it's a combination that has struggled. That trio is 1 for their last 51. So Molina steps in and he will bat cleanup here today. 2 for 6 in this series. The Cardinals as a team hitting .250 with runners in scoring position. First pitch to Molina.
Iglesias will drop down, give all these hitters different looks. Many times we remind you a little bit of El Duque.
Former Yankee starter who had tremendous numbers in the big leagues, in particular with New York. And the 0-1. And again he drops down, does not get the call.
Iglesias is 25 years of age, and he signed a 7-year contract. That's through the 2020 season. Never spent a day in the minor leagues. Came right to the big leagues this year.
Runners at first and second, and a 1-1 pitch. 1-2.
Right, that ball started outside, and Yachty kind of gave up on it, and then it broke back towards the outside corner. We hit him with an open stance, but pitches like that, you'd be so easy to take to right field.
2-2. Think about this. The Reds are 27.5 games behind St. Louis, but yet in the season series, which is now at 16 games, including this one here today, the Cardinals hitting .211 against the Reds this year.
And this is not one of the upper echelon pitching staffs. And now all rookie starting 5 for the Reds.
The 2-2 pitch. Good cut by Molina. John Mozeliak was asked about it earlier today, and he is at the ballpark this afternoon. Cardinals GM, and he said there are some guys that we have ridden hard that are tired. They're worn out, and he did mention Yadier Molina. In particular, what he talked about was up the middle. Johnny Peralta, Colton Wong.
I don't think there's any doubt. And Mike Matheny doing the right thing, trying to give some of these guys rest. Peralta get 2 for 1 with the off day tomorrow.
Ground ball hit to the right side. Votto, what a play. Out there, throw to first. Safe. Iglesias off the bag. They'll take a look at that, but an amazing play by Joey Votto. Avoiding the runner, then the concentration on a short hop, and then throwing from the seat of his pants to second base. What a play.
Boy, Joey Votto is a above average fielder, and here he makes a dazzling play there from the seat of the pants. Pitcher over there covering him. They call it safe, but
I thought he was out.
He is out because his foot was on the bag.
The Reds will challenge this. To the naked eye, I thought he was out. Then watching the replays, I did as well.
One thing I could have figured was that he missed first base, but
exactly,
we saw he was flat on the middle of it.
Iglesias maybe trying to sell that, which you would see first basemen do time and again. They sell it by coming off the bag a little quickly. And some of the Reds start to walk off the field thinking that they have a double play here, and I would agree with them. It will go 3-6-1 and an inning-ending double play and another opportunity wasted by the Cardinals. So the Cardinals with first and second, one out. Their cleanup man up. Do not score. Half inning in the books. No score. The top of this lineup for Brian Price's club, followed by Ivan De Jesus Jr. Then Joey Votto's had a tremendous season. Todd Frazier has as well. Eugenio Suarez, the shortstop. Adam Duvall with 3 home runs. Tucker Barnhart, a switch hitter. The pitcher batting 8th, Iglesias. And the speedster with 56 stolen bases this year, Billy Hamilton. You think about on the bench, some pretty good hitters there, in particular from the left side. Jay Bruce with power, and Skip Schumacher had a 3-run homer yesterday and has had 70 pinch hit appearances this year for the Reds.
Boy, he leads major leagues with his pinch hits, and also his 6 doubles. And like you said, yesterday was a 3-run home run, but Skip getting a lot of time. How about Michael Walker? 15-5 this year, the ERA under 3, and one of the big reasons what he has dominated against the Reds this year, 3-0.
You know, I hate saying over 162 games that this particular start is big or this game is big, because it's such a long year. This is a big game and a big start, is it not?
Well, to be honest, if we win this game, we'll be selling the tunes of how big it was. If they lose, we'll say tomorrow is the biggest game, but we're not going to lose.
There's a base hit into right for Jason Bourgeois. Came in hitting .238.
Bourgeois gets a start today in right field because Jay Bruce, their outstanding right fielder, is 0 for 21 against Michael Walker.
A look at the Hyundai pitch arsenal with Michael Walker. Al, I'll ask you, what do you look for when you see success from big number 52?
Well, I want to see the ball down most of all. And, you know, I want to see the changeup. He really has done a good job incorporating the cutter and you know, to go along with his good fastball and changeup. But a lot of times he has that success when his pitches are down, and then he can pitch up in the zone with the fastball. But he really has to establish the strike zone.
Previous start, a lot of pitches up with all the rest that he had,
and they just weren't. They were up, but they weren't. They were in the middle of the plate. Nothing was inside or outside where you could have gotten away with it.
Ideally, the Cardinals would love to say, yeah, let's skip Walker another start, maybe even a John Lackey, the 36-year-old, Lynn again, Martinez. Well, the way that it is now, they can't afford to do that.
No, you can't. And I still think that with those guys getting extra rest, Martinez and Walker, and then remember there was the ankle problem with Lance Lynn, but all of them were pitching like on 8-10 days rest, and they all struggled. But I think in the long run, it's going to help them. And we keep on singing the praises that if you're going to struggle, you want to do it now. You want to do it now. Streaks follow streaks. So after this, we're going to get on a little winning streak and propel you into postseason.
Runner goes. Throw down to second. Goodbye. Molina catches. Bourgeois. He's gunned down for the first time this year. He had 2 stolen bases coming into play this afternoon. It was just the other day that the Reds had 4 stolen bases against Yadier Molina. We had never, ever said that before.
Well, it was a little bit tainted because 2 of them were Joey Votto, or you see the pitch away, and just sitting there cold and long waiting for the Bourgeois to slide into the tag. But Joey Votto had 2 of those 4 steals on times when he was actually trying to get it caught in a rundown. It was Billy Hamilton who was over at third base trying to kind of steal a run.
I think even when you say, though, that it never happened against him, and he's been in the league for over 10 years, it's quite a statement.
Oh, sure. And, Yachty's never thrown out Billy Hamilton.
Right.
But with a lot fewer chances, just having Yachty back there, the Reds, and with the best base stealer in the National League, Billy Hamilton, is very reluctant to even try it. And most of the time, if he does, he's going to steal it off the pitcher.
3-2 the count on Ivan De Jesus Jr. Little bouncer up the middle. Wong, tough play, makes it. Good range to his right. Colton Wong, the Cardinals' second baseman. So up the middle, it's the teammates from the University of Hawaii playing together here in the major leagues. Garcia and Wong, Carpenter at third, Piscotty is at first base, Molina behind the plate. Pham J. Hayward in the outfield. That's presented by Dobbs, and it brings in Joey Votto.
Mike Matheny trying to change things around a little bit. Struggling with Reynolds and Moss. Put Piscotty over first. Incorporate Tommy Pham and John Jay a little bit in the outfield. But Dan, a lot of times when you're around a club that is struggling like the Cardinals, sometimes the players will look to their leadership. And they'll look to their manager. They'll see, does he show any signs of cracking? Is he panicking? And I can tell you one thing, Mike Matheny is really out there, very, very positive. Same thing been saying, we're going to turn this around. And that is a stabilizing force for the young players.
The 2-1 pitch in on the hands of Joey Votto. Mike has been extremely upbeat with the media and trying to project a non-panicked manager and team and organization. And that's part of being the manager. That's part of the deal.
No doubt. And
there's a strikeout for Michael Wacha, his first of the afternoon. Coming up for the Cardinals, Garcia, Pham, and Jay. No score after 1. bring fans an extra value deal. It just can't be beat. Fans can purchase tickets for just $5 to the Red Series, September 21st, 22nd, 23rd. $5 tickets, Cardinals and Reds, at cardinals.com/McDonald's. If you look at 4 and 5 in the Cardinals lineup as we play here in September, a combined 6 home runs. Greg Garcia, this is no disrespect to Greg, but he's batting 5th with the best record in baseball in the middle of September in that team.
I'll give you a little idea. The Reds, 4 and 5 hitters, have 43 home runs.
One thing about Garcia, very competitive at bat. He's making a case for the postseason roster as a pinch hitter too.
There's no doubt about that. He's leading.
And lifts a high fly ball into center field. Billy Hamilton under it.
Garcia leads the Cardinals in pinch hits, and he hadn't been there hardly that much.
Up and down 3 different times. Right. Let's take a look at your Toyota keys to the game.
Well, that's just really simple. Let's just start. Hit, do everything you want to do. We got to wake up these bats because they will take a lot of pressure off the pitching. Pitching has been the consistent all season long. You always knew there were times where the offense was struggling, but you always got that great effort from the pitching staff, from the starting rotation, all the way on through the bullpen. So let's take a little pressure off and swing the bats.
Iglesias has dropped down more today in facing 5 hitters than he has in the combined innings against the Cardinals this year. Backhanded play. Frazier, long throw, and Votto in foul territory to make that catch. And they get the speedy Tommy Pham.
Nice play right here by Frazier. Made a lot more errors than what you might think for the caliber of third baseman he is. Got that backhand, got his feet under control. Just that little crow hop there gets him in the right sync for the throw, and then the nifty footwork at the other end of Votto with a hard charging Pham coming down the line. Want to make sure it wasn't going to be a collision.
John Jay lifts a fly ball the other way to slicing Duvall over and makes the catch. Made that play in foul territory, and a quick 1-2-3 midway through 2 in game 4. No score here in a shadow going across your face, man. You might want to just move it up a little bit.
Is that better?
Seven to 10 days with more on that. The great Jim Hayes.
Dan, he made his return from a calf strain in the second game yesterday. Got a couple of at-bats. Struck out both times. Wong told me it wasn't a case of him missing games and his timing being off. He said he fell into the trap of trying to do too much. He told me he was way too excited to be back, came into the game thinking, quote, if I hit a home run here, I can change this game. He said being sidelined when the team is struggling is the worst feeling in the world. He wanted to have an immediate impact upon his return. Dan, Colton told me today, much calmer, and he's not going to try to do too much.
Now, Jim, you have a great relationship in all seriousness with these players and with Mike Matheny and the organization. As you get a look at the 1-1, and Frazier hits it out to deep center field. Going back, Jay, he'll look up, and it's 1-0. Home run number 33 for Todd Frazier. RBI number 84. 1-0 Cincinnati. We'll get back to Jim in just a moment.
Well, that's not uncommon. Walker doesn't give up hardly any runs at all to the Reds, but when he does, it's usually a solo home run. So just keep it right there. We had to score 1 run to win this game anyway. Now we'll have to score 2. And not a bad pitch down and away, but sometimes you got to give these hitters credit.
Brings in Suarez. That pitch is popped up, and there is Colton Wong, and I think Jim is still with us. But I was going to ask you, Jim, just the mood in the clubhouse for our fans back home in St. Louis. Obviously, there's frustration with the fan base, with what's happening. How about in the clubhouse? What's it like?
Yeah, they want to win, but they remain very confident. Jason Hayward told me, Dan, he said, look, fans should be freaking out. We understand that. They're fans, but this is a team that has the best record in baseball and remains confident that the talented guys that put them there will eventually come around. Hayward said, look, every team has a slump. We haven't had one yet. This is the first time we're experiencing it, and we will come out of it. Mike Matheny said basically the same thing. He said yesterday we got kicked in the gut. So we do our due diligence. We look at what we can't correct, but we have to go back out there today, and they still believe in the talent, Dan.
Duvall yanks that foul. All right, Jimmy, thank you. There's a look at Matt Adams. Matt Holliday also on the trip. We'll get an update on those guys coming up later in the game with Jim. Duvall, 3 home runs, 5 RBIs, batting .250 in limited time this year. The home run off the bat of Frazier measured at 419 feet.
You talk about Duvall. Here's a guy with a lot of power. He had 30 home runs at AAA level this year. He had 26 for the Giants and then 4 after coming over the Mike Leake trade. By the way, last year he hit his first major league home run off of Mike Leake. And then he was traded for him. He's from Louisville, and that's where the AAA area or AAA franchise of the Reds is located. And after the trade, when he got down there, his first plate appearance, he hit a home run for Louisville. And then earlier this week, he got his first plate appearance here at the big league level for the Reds, and he hit a 2-run home run. So it's pretty much all or nothing. All 3 of his hits have been home runs this year. And they say that this big power guy, you make mistakes, he can hurt you.
3-2 is popped up. Greg Garcia in shallow left and called off by Tommy Pham.
That's the way to do it. The infielder will go back on a ball until he hears he's called off by the outfielder. Much easier for an outfielder coming in than an infielder backpedaling. And also Garcia did the right thing. Once he heard Pham call him off, get out of the way. Don't be just standing there and then you become a parked car and you get run over.
Troy Tulowitzki had that issue for Toronto last night, and he has a broken bone in his shoulder blade.
I saw that play and it looked like incidental contact.
Yeah.
But he went down, and with his history of injuries, this guy can't catch a break.
Nope. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Fouled back off the bat of Tucker Barnhart, who has 3 home runs this year. All 3 have been from this side of the plate. Switch hitter hits .285 from the left side, 167 from the right side. What a year it's been for Votto and Frazier this season. Frazier now tied with Paul Goldschmidt with 28 home runs. one back of Anthony Rizzo. Excuse me, 33 home runs.
He's got 40 doubles. The second half has been a little slower than the first half, but he's picked up pace recently.
Has he ever? Back to Walker, and he makes the play. Last time the Cardinals were swept in 4 games at Cincinnati, it was in May of 2003. Reds trying to do that this afternoon. On the run when the Cardinals score 6 any size drink, just 50 cents the next day. That's coffee, fountain, frozen drinks. When they score, you pour at your nearest On the Run. Now we got to pump it up. You earned it. Got to get something going here.
You almost scared me.
I'm sorry, but I had to get. We got to get something going. You with me?
I mean, we heard that emotional speech that Jim Hayes gave to the players.
Oh, that's right. I heard he had a wonderful speech for the players earlier today.
He said something that was so important. When he was talking with Holiday, Holiday asked him to repeat it to the entire team. It was inspirational.
You want to repeat it?
No, I couldn't do it justice.
Our man Jimmy, the 1-1. Off speed pitch taken high by Colton Wong.
I also thought what Jim Report we're talking about Colton Wong. You know, when players get in a funk like this, they do make that big mistake of trying to do too much. You just have to stay within yourself. It's only natural that you feel like you've got to go out there and carry the whole load, and when you do that, you usually get in trouble. You got to look down deep and say, what can I do to stop things and what can I do to improve, but stay within yourself.
Hit out of play. Fan brought a glove and made a tremendous catch down that left field line. Wong gets underneath it, hits a fly ball into shallow center. Billy Hamilton. The Hyundai pitch arsenal on Raisel Iglesias. Sinker, slider, four-seamer, and a changeup. As you said, a little bit of everything. Huh?
Yeah, the kitchen sink. Didn't know that high enough percentage to be listed there, but it's the different release points and try and change arm angles.
Do you remember him dropping down this much?
No, not at all. I totally agree with that.
You can see when he gets on top of the ball, it'll run in on a right-hander. Sometimes underneath, it'll go away. There's Michael Wacha at the plate. And it's a count of 2 balls and 1 strike. Brewers and Pirates are in a rain delay. Francisco Liriano will make that start for Pittsburgh today. Evens it up at 2-2. The Cubs have Danny Herron going against the Phillies today. Aaron Harang going for the Phils. Little bit low, and the count runs full. The Cardinals had a great opportunity in the first inning with runners at first and second. Molina up, and he hit into a double play. As Wacha swings through the pitch and strikes out. Second this afternoon for Iglesias. They're legends, icons. They're warriors. 2 of the biggest names in the UFC face off as coaches, as interim featherweight champion Conor McGregor and Uriah Faber join the all-new season of The Ultimate Fighter. The mayhem continues Wednesday only on Fox Sports 1. And a ball to Carpenter, who struck out his first time up. Matt leads the club in home runs and RBIs. So first time through the lineup, 1 base hit. That was to Piscotty off the glove of Todd Frazier and into left field. The 2-0 pitch. 2-1. Off day tomorrow. Then we'll be in Milwaukee on Tuesday night. All 3 games on Fox Sports Midwest. After that, the day game in Chicago on Friday on Fox Sports Midwest.
Just locked up there. Got some movement on his pitches. A lot of sinkers. But he's got that good slider coming in on the hands of a left-handed batter away to a right-hander.
The 2-2.
And the Reds are playing for something also. They're trying to avoid finishing in the cellar of the Central Division. It'll be the first time they finished last place in their division in 31 years.
3-2 pitch, and it swung on and missed. 3 strikeouts today. Back-to-back Ks here in the 3rd. It's 1-0. Making a mess, but having some fun. Reminder that StubHub and their app is personalized just for you. Now with the StubHub app, you can select your favorite teams, artists, And discover new ones too. Start at StubHub and let the fun find you. StubHub is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of your St. Louis Cardinals. So over 20 innings this season for Michael Wacha against the Reds. As Al told you just how well he's pitched against Cincinnati. He's given up just 3 home runs. All have been solo shots against the Reds this year. 2 of them have been hit now by Todd Frazier. That's the difference in our game. 1-0 as Raisel Iglesias digs in for the first time this afternoon.
Batting in the 8th spot, and then they have Billy Hamilton. First time we've seen him return to the 9th spot in the order in this series.
And a strikeout for Michael Wacha. That's number 2 today. Michael Wacha is our BJC Healthcare difference maker. Lowest single season ERA against the Reds of the Cardinals starters, and pretty good list there with Dean, Cox, Wilkes, Mort Cooper, and Michael Wacha came in .89.
He's coming into today where his first 3 starts he had that .89 ERA.
How about from a pitcher's perspective, Al, and seeing a team that is struggling, your team is struggling offensively, do you feel that you have to be perfect?
Well,
hit to short, Garcia quickly to first, Hamilton retired.
and again, it's just like we said with Colton Wong, you can't feel that way either. You have to go out and pitch your game. But what you really do is you don't worry about your offense. You just worry about stopping the Reds' offense. You can only control your at bats. The rest of it is beyond your control. You just go out there and manage to keep the Reds down and take your chances. Remember that Wacha also has gotten the most run support of any starter in the National League. We'd like to see those average of 6 runs per game.
Jason Bourgeois single to right, then was cut down by Yadier Molina trying to steal back in the first inning. Yankees have jumped out to a 2-0 lead after 2 over the Blue Jays. Toronto has opened up a 4.5 game lead in the American League East. The Cubs, after a half inning, 1-0, they lead the Phillies. Cubs, one of the hottest teams right now in the game.
They missed a chance yesterday by losing.
And that's taken high, so first walk issued by Michael Wacha.
In this ballpark, you really are asking for trouble when you walk people. It's still the same formula, but it really applies in this park. Don't walk anybody and keep the ball in the ballpark, and you have a good chance of winning.
This ballpark is unfair to pitching, isn't it?
It really is. And I mean, normally you make a good pitch, you'd like to be rewarded for it. And here, it's so small and the ball travels.
Routine fly balls turn into home runs.
Remember the pitch that Duvall hit out in a suspended game yesterday wasn't that bad a pitch by Broxton. And maybe Jimmy will talk a little more about it, but because he talked to Hayward about the incident with the wall, but Hayward got trapped a little bit and didn't realize he was as close as the wall, so when he went to jump, he kind of ran, jumped right into the wall and got no height on it, or otherwise you think he would have brought that back, and he'd be the first one to tell you shouldn't have made.
Well, it may be unfair to say this. He should have made the catch.
Yeah, I mean, and he'll tell you should have made it.
Here's an 0-2 pitch. And a strikeout of the second base hitter, Ivan De Jesus Jr. 2 in the inning, 3 this afternoon. We head to the 4th. September 25th. That's when the Cardinals take on the Brewers. Stay in your seats, and after the game, you'll watch a dazzling fireworks display with the Gateway Arch as the backdrop. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Stephen Piscotty has the lone base hit for the Cardinals today. One of the biggest hits of the year was Piscotty the other day against Chicago, salvaging the third and final game of that series in the 8th inning with a huge hit into right center. Comeback win for the Cardinals.
And Dan, you know, he's got to look at his body of work now, because he's virtually playing every day, and he's maintaining that, you know, 330 batting average.
Yes,
and starting to deliver quite a bit with 30 RBIs.
I talked to John Mozeliak about that. I said, have you seen enough? And he said, most guys I'd say no. With Steven, I say yes. You know, this is a legitimate player that can produce here at this level. And
Mike Matheny was talking about it. He said that John Mabry and Billy Miller, two Cardinal hitting coaches, they noticed right away that he's got that ability to make adjustments. You know, that he's really not overmatched. And I'm sure there are going to be times you're going to get blown away or something, but he'll make adjustments.
Hits it down the left field line. That ball is a foul ball. Jose Oquendo looking right back at Mike Matheny and waving him off as if to say, do we need to take a look at it? And that's one of the best in baseball. Third base umpire Jim Joyce right on the call.
You can see, well, it's on the other side. It kicks up a little dirt, but you see where his position. A lot of umpires will tell you, and that had a little bit of a, you know, air underneath that ball down the line. But a lot of umpires will tell you on a hard hit line drive, you can't run out to a certain spot, and they want to appeal this, or at least reviewed it.
You know, with certain plays like this, and we had this back home in St. Louis, especially early in games where the chalk line has not been affected all that much and not many spike marks out there. If you know where the ball hit, why not take a look at, if you think you have the idea, don't go to video. If you know where the ball hit, go take a look at the chalk line. Now, this one may be a little tough to figure out exactly where it was.
Yeah, I mean, you can see where it hits. Now, the question, did it hit like, what, 8/10 of the ball was obviously foul, and maybe a seam might have touched that part of the line? If it touches any of the line, I think you're good, but I think we saw that Jim Joyce was in a good position. Oquendo kind of said no. There you see what you're talking about. And, you know, if you look at it there, it does look like a little bit of the chalk line is disturbed and near the crater mark.
Boy, that's tough.
I don't know if there'd be enough to overturn it, though.
I agree.
By your point, there is a great example of what you're talking about, though.
Well, even with if you wanted to say, okay, we have where we know it hit. Now we've got it on camera. Now go walk to that spot and take a look at it. It's just something to think about.
So now this is the next interpretation of reviewing. We take it away from New York and bring it back to Cincinnati for the decision.
I'd rather have them go take a look.
Foul ball.
With the way the offense has been going, it certainly is, though, worth having Mike Matheny give it a look, because it puts you, get a man in the scoring position, and you got a shot to tie this game up. I can understand why he'd do it.
Oh, sure. And as we figured that it would be upheld with not enough to overturn it.
That's the first walk issued by the Cincinnati right-hander. And it brings in Jason Hayward, who reached on an error. Back in the first inning, it was Piscotty with a base hit. And then a ball off the bat of Hayward back to Iglesias. He went to second to get the lead man potential double play and threw it into center field for his second error of the year. Then with 2 on, Molina bounced into a double play. First pitch is strike two, Hayward. This is the kind of guy that Hayward has had success with. If he drops down and goes with a breaking ball, breaking into his swing, and he can launch one.
Most right-handers are not going to really drop down to a left-handed hitter. As we talked about it, all the times he was dropping down, it was always to a right-hander. You don't want to drop down because a left-handed hitter gets a free look at that release point because it would be away from your body.
Runner goes on an 0-2, and it's taken low. Stephen Piscotty, his second base, or rather second stolen base this year.
There's a little bit of everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Got a great jump off the pitcher and really no chance at all for Barnhart.
So the Cardinals have their second opportunity with a man in scoring position in this game. The 1-2 hit to the left side. Frazier looking back the runner, and Hayward is the first out. It's a big out.
Yeah, and
just wanted to pull the ball and advance the man.
Exactly. Not a productive out. If he pulls the ball, Piscotty ends over at third base with just one out. It's a different ball game, and you go back to a bunch of congratulations. The pitcher's trying to keep you from doing that too, so has something to do with the pitch location. Where Votto was playing here, the first baseman.
Back to Iglesias, and he'll run Piscotty into a rundown and into an out.
Cardinals, and there's another situation where you can say maybe doing too much. You get that secondary lead. Watch him out here. The pitch is being made, so then you take the secondary lead, you go, and the ball right back in. Now he's trapped. And Iglesias does exactly what you're taught to do. Go right at the man, get him to commit one way or the other, and if he doesn't go back, then you go and tag him like they did. And with Yachty, he's over first, but you lose the man in scoring position, you put a slower runner on first base.
Garcia, little bouncer, slowly hit to first, and Votto steps on the bag. The Cardinals have stranded two. We are midway through four. Iglesias running back to the runner to his original bag, then tagged him out. Hayward with more on the right fielder. Let's check in with Jim.
Yes, Jason is still kicking himself about the home run in the bottom of the 8th yesterday and the completion of the suspended game. Adam Duvall hit a 2-run shot to right to help the Reds win it. Hayward told me initially he thought he went back too far and would have to come in, but it just kept carrying. Hayward tried to jump, but he couldn't get any height. He told me the outfield walls here at Great American Ballpark are different than in other stadiums. He said they're not as padded, and once you're up against the wall, it sort of holds you in place and you can't jump. He says you need a running start. Dan, he said he got a tough reminder about that yesterday.
Jim, how about an injury update as Joey Votto is the hitter on a couple of the big sluggers they hope to get back as Votto went down to get that, but there's John Jay for the first out. We'll start with Matt Adams and then tell us also about Matt Holliday.
Well, Matt Adams got to pinch hit in the first game of this series. Hasn't yet been cleared to be an everyday player. He did defensive drills today. He told me the quad is no longer an issue. And John Mozeliak said he anticipates Adams to be a go on this road trip, maybe Milwaukee. As for Matt Holliday, Holliday said at the beginning of this road trip that he felt like he would be back sometime during the road trip. John Mozeliak said today when Holliday comes back, it'll be as an everyday player, and he is hoping that happens in Milwaukee, Dan.
So everyday player, what's the final hump that he has to get over? Is it base running?
Well, he's been working on base running. That was the final obstacle, and he's been doing that for the last few days and told me that everything checked out fine. I think with the off day coming up tomorrow, give him a little bit more time, and then, as Mo says, hopefully Milwaukee.
All right, thank you, Jimmy. Up and in again to Frazier.
We were watching Adams and Holliday have extensive running today and doing quite a bit, and to see the pitch up and in. But Mike Matheny was asked about it, you know, when he kind of motioned, you know, to the point of saying, hey, look at the way they're running right now. They're very, very close.
That's a good pitch after the previous one was mid-90s up and in.
And the interesting thing for me is we're going to get these guys back. But how long will it take them to get their batting eyes back?
Timing.
Timing is going to be an issue. You know, Matt Belisle was activated yesterday, but I half kiddingly, you know, made a comment that Matt Belisle's biggest contribution, you know, earlier in the week was throwing the simulated games. And it really brings up an interesting point. You know, you bring up all these players that, you know, that were rewarded for the years they had in the minor leagues and possibly could help you when rosters are expanded. And I wonder if anybody's ever thought of bringing up, you know, 2 or 3 guys to where you could have, you know, they're not going to be really pitching on your roster, but you're bringing them up to simulate games every single day with all the extra men you have or guys coming back from injury.
I was talking with Matt Adams the other day, who was facing Matt Belisle, and he said Belisle was nasty.
Well, see, that's, I mean, Belisle's trying to get himself back to active roster. But I mean, you could bring, you know, AAA guys that maybe aren't, that can throw strikes, and they can give you somewhat of what it is like a big league showing. But yet they're not trying to make the team, so to speak. And so they understand that they're also trying to win the confidence of the hitters that are working against them.
Also wonder, too, about will Major League Baseball take a look at how September is played out? If you wanted to, you could have 40 guys in that dugout. You know, you could put your 40-man roster and bring them on up here. Are you better off saying before every game submitting a 25-man roster or 28, but not making it to where you've got, in this case, looking at the Reds, they've got 9 right-handers in their bullpen.
Yeah,
9.
And I mean, and what is it, 4 or 3 lefties? Well, the other day,
4.
The Cubs had 4 lefties and had 13 relievers.
The Cardinals have 9 right-handers available today, too, with the addition of Belisle. Here's a 2-2 pitch.
Something to be said too, you know, because you have these pennant races going down the stretch, and then when you get into postseason, you go back to a 25-man roster.
You play 5 months out of the year
with
one way.
Yeah.
See if they start the runner here. That's Frazier, not running, and it's hit out of play on the 3-2 pitch.
And maybe, like you said, maybe you can have expanded rosters, but have a appointed number who could be active for even September games. You know, whether it's 20,
maybe every
28
night
or 30.
Sure.
You know.
3-2 pitch. Frazier not running again, and it's taken high. Back-to-back walks. So 1-0 Cincinnati here in the home half of the fourth, and it's our What's on Tap presented by Budweiser. We're back at it again after the off day tomorrow, Tuesday night in Milwaukee. Carlos Martinez will try to pick up win number 14. We'll come your way at 6:30. It's our Budweiser What's on Tap. 3 walks issued by Michael. 2 consecutive here in the fourth. And here is Duvall, the power hitter that Al talked about earlier. And that breaking ball is taken high, and some of these pitches getting up in the zone.
That's when you run into trouble with a guy like Adam Duvall. Hit 30 home runs in the minor leagues, but there's a reason why he's in the minor leagues.
Popped up, and that'll find the seats out of play. What is a gorgeous afternoon for baseball mid-September here in the Queen City. Big gap in left center, and here's a 1-1 pitch. Fastball and a good one at 95. Phillies have the lead over the Cubs 2-1. Mets winning again 2-0 over the Braves. That lead has jumped to 9.5 in front of Washington. Here's a 1-2. And it hit him. So back-to-back walks in now. Duvall is hit by the pitch, and the bases are loaded.
Just coming in on him.
Well, the command has not been good at all this inning.
No.
You know, you think about the at-bat with Todd Frazier. 2 or 3 pitches are way out of the strike zone. That's a look at David Bell, who grew up here in Cincinnati. He was on the phone. There's Derek Lilliquist. We had the chance to visit with David's high school coach, who is our official scorer here today. He said David was always considered a very good player, but scouts would question his arm. He said, well, he gets it there, but does just enough to get there. We want to see him air it out.
Yeah.
Well, now Walker's in a spot. Bases loaded, 1 out.
That Barnhart up there. It's a catcher. He has not hit into, or he's hit into 8 double plays, and that's what Walker's looking for right now. Ground ball double play.
Fly ball into left center. Throw will come into third. Run does score. That's Frazier to make it 2-0 Cincinnati.
Sees that tag up. How about that? His direction's a little off, isn't it? Right for the dugout, and then realize I better touch home plate.
So the pitcher is up. Raisel Iglesias. He struck out back in the third. 2-0 now in favor of the Reds. Runners at first and second. Oh, 0-2 the count. The Cardinals with just one hit today. That was Piscotty, second batter of the game. That's it through 4 innings. The Reds have a home run from Frazier. He walked here in the 4th and came around to score as Iglesias lines it foul. You know, things have gone for the Nationals. They've gone south, and it gets even worse as Drew Storn broke his thumb slamming a locker after their loss against the Mets on Wednesday. He's likely done for the year.
Saw a little clip yesterday. Lance Lynn and Barnhart and Storn all went to the same high school
in Indiana.
Yep. Lance, when his senior year, he was the Indiana State Player of the Year. Same with Barnhart when he was a senior.
The Mets a 9.5 game lead. Cardinals 2.5 at the start of play. And the Dodgers now 7.5 as things have tailed off for San Francisco.
Remember the last game before the All-Star break, July 12th, Cardinals lost in back-to-back games in Pittsburgh. Terrible fashion. They were 2.5 games back. And we lost 50-some games off the schedule and still 2.5 back.
4 strikeouts for Waka. 2-0 lead for the Reds. Cincinnati. And the Cardinals trying to pick up anything offensively. Lance Berkman bobblehead coming up September 26th. You'll receive a one-of-a-kind Berkman bobblehead as part of the Alumni Bobblehead Series, courtesy of Coca-Cola and Deerbergs. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. The Cardinals in this series, this is the 32nd inning of the series. The Cardinals have 3 runs as Pham taps it foul. If you add up the last 10 games, we'll make it 11 if you include today, doing some of the numbers here. 103 strikeouts.
A ton of strikeouts, and Reds pitching staff is 11th in the National League, so we're not talking about all Cy Young contenders. It's the old story too, Dan, that a lot of people look at these teams under 500 and you say, oh, they're going to be easy. You just add up the wins, but they're a professional team and they got pride too. Sometimes it's easier to play teams that are playing for something because one team has a mental advantage, trying to be the spoiler when another team's struggling.
That's pulled foul past Jose Oquendo. Tommy Pham at the plate. Very nice play by Todd Frazier on a backhanded play. Back in the second inning, and he's 0 for 1. Taken just a bit high, and the count runs full. Iglesias made his major league debut earlier this year against the Cardinals. It was back on April 12th. Went 5 innings in that game. We last saw him on July 27th. 4 innings, 4 earned in 6 innings. Also hit 3 batters in that game. Ground ball hit to the right side. Taken by Ivan De Jesus Jr. 1 hit today. That's it for St. Louis. 1. Well, you mentioned it, Al. The Reds are trotting out a rookie every night. And so far in this series, that trio has pitched quite well.
And John Lamb, first game of the series, he walked 6.
But was able to pitch out of jams.
Yeah, pitched out of jams. And
it's 5 scoreless for Lamb. First major league win. Snapped Garcia's streak of 8 straight starts, which the Cardinals won.
I thought Lackey pitched a great game on Friday night. He was outstanding. Got another no decision, but another quality start. His 23rd of the year. 12th time he's given up, got a no decision or loss. Giving up 3 runs or less.
It wasn't your phone, was it?
Nope.
Oh. Wasn't your phone. It's going to fine you. That's hit the other way. Well struck. Duvall going back and over his head. 1 hops off the wall, and John Jay trots in with a stand-up double. And the tying run will come to the plate.
Duvall looked like he didn't want any part of that wall, and we needed a hit. So I like the double by John Jay. Duvall going back here, but you can see he was kind of drifting when he needed to run harder going back, and he had plenty of room. He hadn't even reached the warning track. Could have kept on going forward.
Cardinals are 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position today. Best opportunity was in the first with Molina up. Runners at first and second. And that ball scoots away. Jay will trot to third. And there's only 1 out. You have to get this run in.
Cardinals, some of their scoring, the limited scoring they do have, has been benefited by wild pitches. There's another one here. Barnhart tried to backhand it and got by him. But you're right. Either wild pitch or Colton hopefully will drive him in. Colton is 2 for 4 with a home run and 4 RBIs against Iglesias.
That's ripped down the right field line, and that ball is foul.
That tells us tale of why the Cardinals have lost the first 3. Streaks follow streaks, Danny. So when Cardinals get out of this bad one, look for a positive one to develop.
The 2-1 fouled back in a good cut by Wong. Fly to center, first time up. Iglesias is thinking, get this 8th place hitter, deal with Michael Walker, and it stays 2-0 Cincinnati. Tapped foul.
Left-handed batters hit over 100 points higher than the right-handed hitters do against Iglesias.
The 2-2.
Pitch in the dirt. Barnhart blocks this one. Wong lives for a full count.
Three-2 on its way. Tap foul again. Three-two pitch to Colton Wong. Good battle here.
Yep. The more pitches you see, the better chance you are that you're going to get one you can handle. On fouling off the tough pitches.
Wong, a base hit into center field. As he beats it out, that was hit into shallow center off the mound, and Jay scores. The Cardinals get on the board. It's now 2-1. Wong with RBI number 56 and a very good at bat.
Finally got something. He could hit the ball hard, and it was a good thing he was running hard, because Suarez made that play up the middle, and if he wasn't hustling, would have been able to throw him out at first. But catches this ball on the first base side of second, spins and throws, and beats it out. And the Cardinals are just down by 1 now.
And here is Walker. So St. Louis on the board. Little help from the left fielder Adam Duvall on the double by John Jay. Then a wild pitch. Wong the base hit. And a check on Colton, who has 15 stolen bases this year.
Piscotty stole. I think Colton Wong, the second best base stealer in the club to Hayward, gets a good jump.
Ooh. And everybody has been warned.
Walker trying to bump, but just look at this ball just take off running in and almost got his finger. But see if Walker says anything here.
He sure did. That's what started it. And then you saw Tucker Barnhart look back at Michael Wacha, and now the benches have been warned. That one, a couple pitches got away from Wacha, and I'm sure that's in the back of his mind, and part of the reason why he's upset with that. But to warn both benches, I'm not sure that's the appropriate pitch to do that with. That's just a ball that got away to me.
And the ball just ran. As you said, you could see it just running in on him. But by issuing warnings, now you set the stage. You kind of tell people, well, maybe there was more intent.
0-1 pitch to Wacha.
Ricky Horton and I were talking about this the other day, and just to kind of tell you how things have changed. And this is even Ricky talking, Dan. This is Ricky talking. That when a ball gets away like that and goes up and in, it used to be where you came off the mound and you kind of told the hitter, yeah, I'm trying to throw at you. Because that's the way we were instructed. Pitchers could intimidate hitters then. Now it's hitters intimidate pitchers because a lot of the umpires in avoiding knockdown confrontations create more of an environment for it by issuing warnings.
Well, this is a crowd. I wouldn't want to say it's a sparse crowd, but it's not a big crowd, and they're fairly quiet. And we up here in the booth can hear the Reds screaming at Michael Wacha.
I'm not sure if the Reds or Reds fans.
Here's a 1-2. Gets the bunt down. Frazier. Only play to get Wacha at first. So sacrifice number 6 for Michael Wacha as he gets this bunt down with 2 strikes.
And good form right there. The barrel higher. You got your knees bent so you can go up and down. The barrel always higher than the handle. Deadened the ball perfectly, and a good execution there. His 6th sack of the year, 10th of his career.
So here is Carpenter, who struck out twice, and he has been one of the better hitters this season for the Cardinals with runners in scoring position. Fastball and a strike. Iglesias has struck out 3. 340 the numbers for Matt Carpenter with runners in scoring position. And a balk is called. He's already thrown a wild pitch.
The wild pitch has helped, and now the balk hopefully will help tie this game. See if he doesn't start his windup, little flinch. There it is right there. Tried to step off to decoy it, but his movement constitutes a start to his motion.
And that is a base hit, and this game is tied. Carpenter comes through. Matt Carpenter with a single into right. And this game is tied up at 2-2. RBI number 73.
There are some Cardinal fans in the stands. You just had to do something to wake them up. Colt Wong, after the sacrifice, he's at second base, and there you see the balk that sends him to third. More than likely, he would have scored from second, but he's guaranteed that he'll score from third on the base hit by Carpenter. His 73rd RBI leads the ball club along with his 21 home runs. You got a tie ball game, partner.
Yeah, the Cardinals, Al, with runners in scoring position this year and 2 outs, they come into play today hitting .209. That is a big hit.
It's a big hit, and it's by someone that we come accustomed to knowing that he's going to deliver in the clutch. He's got 2 strikeouts today, gives him 32 strikeouts on the year, which is hard for us to believe with such a contact hitter that he is, and he has that many strikeouts.
Here is Stephen Piscotty now. And the sacrifice looms large in this inning for Michael Walker with 2 strikes to get the bunt down.
It's a lost art today. And you know how much the Cardinal pitchers, how much they hit and practice bunting. But, boy, they just don't get a job done very often. And that's all the pitchers. It's a lost art.
Throwing to a bag is a lost art, too, by the pitchers. We've seen a lot of bad throws.
You know, another one that's a lost art is backing up bases.
How about that? Yeah.
They don't do it. Remember Skip Carey in an old timers game. He's pitching in an old timers game. He said if this was like anything else, the way he pitched with the Atlanta Braves, he'll throw this pitch and back up third. Truth hurts at times, doesn't it?
Good old Skip, huh? The 2-0. 2 hops hit to short. Suarez took his time and then threw it away. He was off balance when he fielded that ground ball, almost like his feet were tied up. And it's an error, the 15th on Suarez.
You're absolutely right, Danny. First started because it looked like he was reaching for the ball, thought it was going to be coming closer to him, so that got him off balance. And then he kind of, well, watch the shortstop. He's playing deep here, but watch how he kind of stretches out. He caught his momentum. Then he thought about going to second. Then it was too late. And standing flat-footed on the edge of the grass, he throws the ball away. Extends the inning. Cardinals have to take advantage of this and break the 2-2 tie.
2 outs, runners at first and third. Sam LeCure, the right-hander, starting to throw, and a fastball to Hayward, who reached on an error back in the first.
Hayward's had back-to-back multi-hit games.
The official ruling is a base hit for Piscotty.
Wow.
And an E6.
I have no problem with it. Pad my numbers. And especially when it's David Bell's baseball coach.
Two strikes on Jason Hayward. One and two the count. You just wonder with the pitch that went up and in to Waka if Iglesias after that got a little unnerved. And he was just sailing in this game. Then he's worn both benches. High chopper. And they just get Jason Hayward. Cardinals strand two, but they tied it up. 2-2 as we head to the bottom of the fifth. leaders in the National League Central. The starters, Arrieta, Cole, Hamill, and Waka. A little bit of everything there at the top of the 5th. There's the sacrifice by Michael Waka, then a balk, and that may have unnerved Iglesias. And Carpenter, a 2-out base hit. It scored Colton Wong, and that tied the game up at 2. And a fastball in for a strike to Billy Hamilton. Hamilton, Bourgeois, and Ivan De Jesus Jr. Also had both benches worn. Michael Waka was barking. Reds barking back. Then the Cardinals were. Yeah, you get that in the 4-game series, and these two teams know each other quite well.
And maybe that'll be the wake-up call for the Cardinals, too.
Slapped foul by Hamilton.
Hamilton in the lineup here against Walker because the potential with his stolen base and having a good series, but he is 1 for 19 against Walker.
Kept in front by Piscotty as he steps on the bag. Keep up with the pennant races in true high-definition quality on MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service. And college students enjoy a back-to-school offer with 35% off discount. Authentication required. Blackouts and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV today. There's Bourgeois on the top of the lineup.
Danny Bourgeois gets a start because Bruce is 0 for 21 against Walker. Hamilton now 1 for 20.
Lined into right field. Hayward, 2 down.
And Phillips not in the lineup. He's 3 for 22 off of Michael Walker. That's how dominant he's been against the Reds.
So with 2 outs, it brings in their second baseman. So far in September, the Cardinals 3-8, Pittsburgh 6-6, the Cubs 8-3. Milwaukee a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the 3rd over Pittsburgh. The Phillies lead Chicago 2-1. That's in the bottom of the 3rd. Breaking ball and a strike.
Cardinals have not had a losing month since June of 2012.
Wow. That's hard to do. The standings as we speak, and by the way, it's now a 4-1 lead.
Yep.
For Milwaukee over Pittsburgh.
Kyle Loesch got the save the other night.
Saw that.
Francisco Rodriguez, as we take a look at that last delivery just off the plate, he blew a save, giving up a home run to Polanco in extra innings, but then he got the win. And Kyle Loesch did a nice job picking up the save to bail out the Brewers.
3-1 is a high fly ball lifted out to right. Hayward is back. He's at the wall. This one he's got. This time he pulls it back in. Jason Hayward takes a home run away. He learned from 24 hours ago. Hayward finds the wall, leaps, takes it back in. This game stays tied. It's 2-2. Hayward felt that he made a mistake in the game yesterday. Well, moments ago, he did not make a mistake as he takes a home run away from Ivan De Jesus Jr. Finds the wall. Needed every bit of that 6'5" frame. Pulls it back in. Game stays tied at 2.
When you see how much his arm was extended over the wall there, he definitely would have been able to catch that one. It was the game winner off the bat of Duvall in the suspended game yesterday. Sam LeCure come in to pitch here. Talked about the fact that he was born in Jeff City. He lives in Kentucky now, but mentioned the other night that you always think about Sam, you think about Tom Henke. I talked to Tom yesterday. He's got a golf tournament same day you do, right?
October 12th.
October 12th. And you were supposed to tell me to call him.
I did tell you.
When?
It was 2 weeks ago. I told you. I did.
I always listen to everything you say. I forgot then if you did.
I did.
Okay. Well, I talked to him.
Well, good. Everything's taken care of.
Yep.
Iglesias out of the game, and a ground ball off the bat of Molina. There's one away. 89 pitches for Iglesias. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. Both were earned. Walked 1, struck out 3. Did have a balk and 1 wild pitch.
It's one of the things with the 5 rookie starters the Reds have now is you go to your bullpen early a lot. Talked to Brian Price, the manager and former pitching coach of the Reds, about how he's trying to teach these kids to stay in games. And one of the biggest things is, not to look over their shoulder. You get yourself in trouble. You're going to, at this level, you're going to have to find ways to get yourself out of trouble. But what he's also experiencing is the high pitch counts.
They've also talked about LeCure with his breaking stuff. I mean, he'll throw it in the high 60s to low 70s. Very, very slow, and quite the difference with his fastball in terms of the differential and his speeds. This is our Hyundai pitch arsenal with Sam LeCure. Been around a while now.
A lot of sinkers. You see the splits, the curveballs. But it's really changing speeds and keeping the ball in the middle of the plate.
2-1 pitch to Greg Garcia, taken inside. 3-1. Garcia's fly to center, also grounded out to first.
Noted that he finds a little knack in how to get on base, and Greg's really kind of opened up the eyes, getting more playing time. Especially Peralta just needs a few days off.
The Reds relievers, 7 earned, 3 games back in early April. Series here. Their last 10, though, just 2 earned against the Cardinals. A .54 ERA from their bullpen against St. Louis.
And the Cardinal bullpen, which has been A++ all season long, has the highest ERA in the National League for the month of September.
Cardinals have received 2 walks today. First issued by LeCure, and it brings in Tommy Pham, who is 0 for 2. Wonder with this combination, would Mike Matheny want to try to do something? Garcia, your runner at first. First pitch to Tommy Pham.
Well, you're hoping Tommy Pham gives you a little shot in the arm until you get Holiday back and Grichuk back. Grichuk, we know, can swing the bat. He did so well the other day as a pinch hitter, but I want to see him get back to where he can throw and play every day. far away do you think we're from seeing, say, a Holiday, Grichuk, Hayward outfield with Piscotty playing first base?
Good question.
Mix in a John Jay in center.
I think your biggest concern would be with that is that you just wonder how well Holiday can run, and two, Grichuk can't throw. So where do you place Randall Grichuk in that scenario? Move Hayward to center, put Grichuk in right.
Do that. I mean, the natural spot is when you have somebody not able to throw like that, and you're trying to hide them. Is how the Cardinals did it when Pujols was the left fielder.
Yeah.
You know, when he had a bad throwing arm before he moved to first base, and you'd have that shortstop going out all the time to help out.
Pham with a high fly ball out to deep left field. Duvall is back. Looks up. Gone! Tommy Pham puts the Cardinals on top with a 2-run homer. And it's 4-2 St. Louis. Pham, his second home run this year.
That's the kind of shot in the arm Mike McKinney was hoping for from the kids. Pham hits the home run, but preceding him was Garcia, who got on the walk. We got a big RBI base hit from Colton Wong. Gets on the scoreboard, and look at this ball. Just keep on drifting in, and he just opens up with the hips and puts a charge in.
Jay slaps it the other way. Base hit. He already has one double today. On his way to second base with double number 2. I don't know about you, but with 4 lefties in their pen, as we've talked about, I was a bit surprised. Finnegan up and loose and ready that he didn't bring him in to face Jay and Wong. He elected to stay with LeCure.
And yeah, what you're talking about is almost with all those guys down there just going batter per batter. You could get away with carrying 13 relievers. But normally when they think of LeCure, they're going to keep him out there for a couple innings. And it won't happen now. Brian Price will go to his bullpen and bring in one of the lefties. So LeCure got the first out. He got needed to ground out, but then a 2-run home run by Tommy Pham. John Jay gets a double, and his day is through. But we'll be back. Cardinals have a lead, and they're pushing for more.
The Tommy Pham home run measured at 389 feet came on a 2-0 pitch, and the Cardinals have their first lead at 4-2 today. Good
to see the youngsters going out there to contribute, and Cardinals got a lead, but I think they want to just pile on and make a statement and really enjoy the off day tomorrow. So a long way to go in this game. A lot of outs to get, but let's have a little fun. So Colton Wong and might make his statement his last time out. Remember, it was a lengthy at bat and got the RBI base hit that got the Cardinals on the scoreboard. They were trailing 2-1 at that time, and some people might think about the Carpenter's bats that he had against Clayton Kershaw that really turned those games around.
Just the confidence boosters is what you're talking about.
It looks like they cross up and the catcher Barnhart looking for something else, and they'll go change it. First at bat, got 6 pitches. The next one was that 9-pitch at bat. We got the base hit and the right field corner. Drove in his 56th run. He's got another RBI sitting out there for him.
Milwaukee has jumped out to a 5-1 lead over Pittsburgh. Runner at second. And Wong a swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. Runner at second is John Jay after his second double. Check swing. Did not go. Ball game started by Iglesias, went 5 innings. Sam LeCure started this 6th inning. Walk and a home run, did record an out with the ground out by Molina. And now it's Finnegan against Wong and a pickoff, and Jay back in safely.
And we knew Finnegan last year. Remember, he was selected in the first round, 17th overall, his 2014 draft. And then he found himself pitching in the big leagues in the World Series.
After pitching in the College World Series.
Yeah, first player to ever do that in the same calendar year.
Strikes out Wong. Began the day talking about the young players that are in this lineup, and so far this trio has contributed. Scotty 2 for 2 with a walk. Garcia walk and a run scored. Pham the big 2-run homer.
It was interesting about Finnegan last year in the minor leagues and big leagues. He was 0 for 5. Didn't win a game last year and pitched well in the World Series. He did win in the division series. He won a game for Kansas City against the Angels.
Here's Michael Wacha, 9th place hitter. Runner at second, John Jay. 2 balls, no strikes. Big inning coming up for Michael Wacha. He'll face Votto, Frazier, and Suarez. Two balls, no strikes. Three and 0. Take 1, maybe take 2.
You got to be smart enough for yourself. You don't need anybody to tell you. Definitely take the first one.
He walked him. So 2 walks in the inning. This one by Finnegan, the other by LeCure. And it brings in Matt Carpenter with one of the biggest hits of the day. A 2-out RBI base hit to right back in the 5th, and that tied the game up at 2. That walk could prove costly here.
Extends the inning, brings up the team leader in home runs and RBIs to the plate with 2 men on.
The third walk issued to the Cardinals. Runners at first and second. First pitch, a strike. Nobody at the bag at second as Barnhart faked the throw down there. Billy Hamilton is one of the fastest runners in all of Major League Baseball. And that first pitch, he was playing really shallow for Matt Carpenter. Now he's backing up.
He still does play a very shallow outfield.
The 0-1. Phillies a 4-1 lead over Chicago. Ryan Matthews, a right-hander, getting loose in the pen for Cincinnati. The 1-1 pitch. Finnegan, as Al mentioned, comes from Kansas City. Part of the Johnny Cueto deal. And Cueto has not pitched well here recently for the Royals.
Now we saw a comparison between John Lamb, another lefty that they got in that deal. 3 lefties total go to the Reds. And Lamb had a 6-point ERA and 0-3. And his numbers were better than Cueto's. His ERA was in the 7s and 0-3.
The 1-2. Taken for a ball. Tough pitch to take. 2-2 the count.
Carpenter has that batting eye, and he usually is pretty good on it. Sometimes he'll expand his zone, and struck out a couple times today, and he's like 132 now. Strikeouts on the year, but normally has a pretty good idea what's strike and what's a ball.
The 2-2 to Matt Carpenter.
Keeping everything away from Carpenter. They're going to go back away again.
The 2-2. Throw down to second and to center field. Runners do not advance.
That's how you play that. We were talking the other night about how Yachty was charged with 2 errors and should have been charged with none. But shortstop Peralta was playing and he was just worn out. But the center fielders did not react until that ball got, past the second base bag. Billy Hamilton was coming in, and that's why there was no advancement by John Jay to go to third like Billy Hamilton did.
Now the runners off with this pitch. 2 outs, 3-2 the count. And the next to Carpenter. Here it comes. And a strikeout of Carpenter. Tommy Pham has given the Cardinals a 2-run lead. Walkup back to work when we come back. Book 2000. We're looking back at the 2000 Cardinals season, game by game. Bart McGuire's last year, Jim Edmonds' first in St. Louis. We'll tell you the stories of home run records, the Hop and Ricky and Keel. Cardinals Yearbook 2000, Thursday at 5:30, only on Fox Sports Midwest. Mark Reynolds takes over at first base. Stephen Piscotty shifting from first base to left field. And Tommy Pham is out of the game. Big inning here for Michael Wacha, 2-run lead. It's 4-2 St. Louis. And he'll have the heart of the lineup in Joey Votto, Todd Frazier, and then Suarez. Votto is 0 for 2. He is struck out and lined out. The bottom of the 6th there at the Great American Ballpark. Votto's on-base percentage this year at .461. It's incredible.
On-base machine, isn't he?
Sure is. Comes in with 127 walks. His all-time high is 135, which was set back in 2013. Nothing into the count.
His career on-base percentage is .423, which ranks first among active players.
Rarely do you see a player with 2 strikes choke up. Now, you've heard about it ever since you could play Little League Baseball. The dad is out there, hey, choke up, 2 strikes. Well, Joey Votto does that.
Oh, come on, a big leaguer?
A big leaguer does it. He's trying to put the ball in play, stay alive.
Like
That's what he does. Punches it out to left on an 0-2 pitch. I mean, what do you know, you're Michael Wacha, what are you saying? I just made a pretty good 0-2 pitch.
But because of choking up and having that 2-strike approach, he gets so many hits like this, where guys are down on the knob swinging as hard as they can. All he wants to put the ball in play. That's old school.
Well hit. Left center. Stays in the ballpark. Catch made by John Jay. And back to the bag at first goes Votto. And Todd Frazier is your first out. Much better Michael Wacha here today after the rough outing that he had his last time out 5 days ago.
Yeah, he had all that extended rest and it just didn't work. But I think in the long run, it was probably a smart move. And
I'd say put it this way. It's a smart move if you don't have to play in the play-in game. And you say, well, we got in. It worked out. We're in the division series, and those guys got a little rest. Like you said, short term hasn't worked. Long term, hopefully it does.
yeah. I'll take it a step further and say I like the Cardinals approach much more than I did if I was a Washington National fan when they shut down Strasburg because of innings.
Which then gets into the conversation of what you do with Matt Harvey.
Matt Harvey. And I can remember, and Danny, you were there too, we're talking with Terry Collins about, and Terry Collins told me there's going to be times this year that he may have a shutout, may even have a no-hitter going. Well, I'm going to say, no, you're going to stop right now at 7th inning. You know, anticipating to where he would have, and of course that time they were talking about they were going to be a playoff team. But I don't know if they, in reality, really felt that way.
And now all of a sudden you're saying, well, we're a playoff team and we need this guy.
Absolutely. And you can make a strong case, too, that some agents, and I'll say Boris, in the case of the Washington Nationals, has way too much influence. And so many players there that, you know, it's hard for them. They had to listen to him, but they said, oh, we're going to be in playoffs every year. And look at this year again. Everybody had them written as they were going to the World Series. Still may get there, but doesn't look like it.
Here's a 1-2. Yeah, barring a colossal collapse by the Mets, they are headed to postseason. 3 teams then would come from the Central Division. I mean, Washington is 9.5 games back. I mean, that's just shocking.
Lost 5 straight.
The 2-2. 3-2. Is Brian Price want to start the runner on 3-2? Does not, and it's a strikeout. Throw down to first. Votto back in safely. So Michael Wacha was strikeout number 5 today.
Look at that breaking ball in there. Pull down on that. The tighter rotation, spin.
It is pretty amazing in this game of baseball, Alan. You've been around it a long time. I mean, I used to hear Tony La Russa say it all the time. You are what you are after 162 games. If you're meant to be 9.5 out, that's the team that you were. That's how good you are.
And there might be a lot of circumstances why, but it's still
exactly.
You are what you are.
It's a long season. It's so up and down. And for the Cardinals, it's been so many ups this year that when you do have a down stretch like this, it's magnified in April. It's magnified in September.
But that's where the Cardinals have an advantage with all the players that have postseason experience, that they set the tone as to not to panic. Just stay the course and keep on working hard, do things the right way, and you know you will turn your luck around. You will create good luck too.
Duvall at the plate, the left fielder takes a breaking ball high, and it's 3-0. Tucker Barnhart, the switch hitting catcher, on deck.
And then that's why you look at clubs that maybe are going to go to postseason for the first time in a long time. You know, it's always interesting to watch how they react. You know, because they're just thrilled to death they got there.
A walk. Third today issued by Michael. He's at 98 pitches. This will be his final inning of work.
And I think Derek Lilliquist will come out and make that point. You know, the potential go-ahead run is in the batter's box. You've got 2 outs. This is going to be your last inning. Make sure you're in line for the victory.
Barnhart came up with the bases loaded, 1 out back in the 4th. Flied out into left center, picked up an RBI, his 17th. And is also grounded out. Seth Maness is getting loose in the pen.
And Barnhart is the old pro, Skip Schumacher. Well, we didn't like too much yesterday, but we love him again today.
3-run homer yesterday for Skip. What could be his final few weeks in a major league uniform as a player? Ground ball that's tapped foul. Talking with Skip, he said he's undecided. Said that the shoulder injury, had a surgery with that. There's a look at Skip. He said it was a lot harder to come back from than he anticipated. He knew it would be tough, but not as hard as it was for him. And he said, I don't know how pitchers do it. He said, me being a position player, that's one thing, but a pitcher that does it, very, very tough. Here's the 0-1. And a ground ball that's hit to first, and Reynolds will step on the bag. So Michael Wacha gives the Cardinals 6 innings at this start and gives up 2. We head to the 7th, 4-2. Dealers, they will donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Ryan Matthews takes over for Cincinnati, and the Cardinals will send Stephen Piscotty, Jason Hayward, and Yadier Molina to the plate. A Tommy Pham 2-run homer, the difference in this game. It broke a 2-2 tie. 47th appearance for Matthews, and the 4th pitcher used by Brian Price here this afternoon.
A lot of guys down there, a lot of options. Nice job by Michael Walker. We think his day is through. 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. Walked 4 and hit a batter. Struck out 5 and allowed his 15th home run of the year.
Well, the Cardinals really have treated Walker with kid gloves the entire season. You know, not going deep in the games. You don't see many times going over 100 pitch count. And again, that'll be the case today. And Piscotty has been on base 3 times with a couple of hits and a walk.
And Dan, I think you could go back into last season and look at how conservatively the Cardinals treated Michael Walker and the stress reaction that I think has paid off, taking good care of him.
Piscotty trying to bunt his way on, and there's strike 1. I think it's interesting too when you look at young players that get called up and are in September baseball for the first time. Do they wear down? And I'm specifically talking about a guy like Piscotty. Well, and so far that has not been the case.
And it's a fact. You know, I mean that guys are playing in September for the first time. The minor leagues are usually over by the first week of September. So not only the Cardinals find that it's a second season for them, but then if they get into postseason, it's an additional month or weeks that they're out there playing.
This is our Chevy call to the pen. 1-1 pitch to Stephen Piscotty. Those that are sitting down the third base and left field line enjoying the sunshine. Other side of the ballpark, shade. Very cool afternoon here in Cincinnati. 2-1 pitch. I don't know about you, and I'm not sure anybody expected this, but I'm pleasantly surprised watching Stephen Piscotty. Knew he could play at this level. We've seen that. The minor leagues and handle himself, bright guy, but these types of numbers,
especially coming up for the first time. Wouldn't be surprised if it happened in a couple of years, but we got to hit 330 his first 50 so games in the big leagues, playing every day. I think we're all pleasantly surprised and knew that he had a high upside, but probably not this quick.
Jason Hayward reached on an air back in the first, has grounded out twice. Took a home run away, though. Play that has proven to be a big one in this game. And a strike to Hayward. That was in the 5th inning with Ivan De Jesus Jr. up. Sent Hayward to the wall, made a catch over the wall, and kept the game tied at 2. Here's a 1-1 pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hits it the other way. Extra bases for Jason Hayward. That goes to the wall. John Jay with a couple of doubles today, and now Jason Hayward with his first double.
It's his 29th double of the year, and boy, that had a nice distinct sound. More and more this year he's gone to the opposite field, And you can see he stayed right on that pitch. He was on the point of contact, and his eyes were riveted towards left field. Down in the corner.
One out, runner at second base. Now Yadier Molina. Third time today hitting with a runner in scoring position. Little tapper back to the mound and through the legs. Through the legs of Matthews, and Hayward, a heads-up base runner, thought about rounding third and coming to the plate as Matthews did not go after that baseball.
Yeah, the pitcher did not go after it, but it was Frazier that stopped Hayward as he comes around. Little swinging bunt. Pitcher comes up here. Goes off his glove, the webbing his glove, and there you saw where Hayward thought about going at it. Probably get a better look here as the pitcher goes to field it, goes through him. He stands like that, and Hayward had a thought of one point of coming on home, but Frazier got over there and stopped.
Third error charged to Cincinnati today. The second on their pitching staff. And on Friday night, they spent a half hour with PFP, pitchers fielding practice. The other error was by Iglesias. Threw to second, threw it into center field. That also was with Molina up back in the first inning, and now it's Garcia. Runners at first and third, and one out. Two balls, no strikes. Carlos Contreras is getting loose in the pen for Cincinnati. Right-hander. The 2-0. 3-0. Reynolds on deck. Jonathan Broxton is getting loose in the pen for St. Louis. And it's a walk, so the base is loaded for Reynolds. Reynolds in the spot that was occupied by Tommy Pham. How many times do you hit a two-run homer and then see that player removed? But that's the case here today. Cardinals, I'm assuming, want to, this is just my assumption, get better defensively. They really like Reynolds at first base. Piscotty is out of position, more comfortable at left, and that's the decision that you go with.
Yeah, that's the only one you can go with. But Tommy Pham made his presence known in this ball game. Two-run home run in the 6th inning. He broke a 2-2 tie.
One out, bases loaded. And a chance for Reynolds. First pitch taken for a ball. Last road trip, last time that Reynolds hit a home run at San Francisco. Back on the 30th of August. Here's a 1-0 pitch. I'll say this, he doesn't get cheated.
No, he doesn't.
The 1-1 pitch.
Did a nice job of pulling that pitch up and framing it for the umpire.
On 1-2, the next two, Mark Reynolds. You just hope that that does not come back to haunt the Cardinals. Bases loaded, 1 out.
And you know, Reynolds now 0 for his last 15. John Jay to pick him up.
And it's ball 1 to John Jay. He's had a good day. Couple of doubles, both to left field. Also flied out to left.
John trying to work his way back into his timing back and get back into real good playing shape. You know, you're going to have good and bad days.
Here's a 1-0. That pitch at 93.
Matthews was claimed on waivers by the Reds on May 13th of this year. From the Angels.
Hit out of play. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jay. On 1-2, bases loaded. Jay takes a pitch inside. Outfield is playing Jay straight up. He's gone to left 3 times. Hits it to the shortstop and a flip and a force play at second. God Bless America on this Sunday afternoon. Performed by the Mystics. Here's Reds PA announcer Joe Zerhusen.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please stand, kindly remove your hats and face the American flag. Major League Baseball, the Reds and the Cardinals salute the men and women of our armed forces, as well as those who serve to protect in our local police and fire departments. At this time, please help us honor these brave men and women and all our veterans of service, and welcome the Mystics as they lead us in the singing of God Bless America.
God bless America, the land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountain to the prairies to the ocean white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home, my home sweet home.
Along with Al Raboski, Dan McLaughlin, Jim Hayes. Pete Kozma takes over at shortstop. And a new pitcher is Jonathan Broxton. Kozma goes into the 9th spot in the lineup. Broxton will move into the 5th spot. And so it's our Chevy called to the pen, and Brandon Phillips will be the pinch hitter in the 8th spot in the lineup for the Cincinnati Reds. It was Broxton who gave up the home run to right yesterday. Spent some time here with Cincinnati, and the first pitch is taken for a strike.
First time we came into Cincinnati was the last trip. First time since Broxton was acquired by the Cardinals, and I can't tell you how many Reds just came up and raved about him as a teammate.
And a ground ball. Couple of hops to Kozma. One away.
This is Broxton's 18th appearance with the Cardinals. A 2.81 ERA, a 1-3 record. It's really been 2 home runs that beat him in yesterday's ball game, and then once in Milwaukee.
The velocity for Broxton has improved steadily since he's come over to the Cardinals. At times when there's been issues, it's been in back-to-back games. Like many, if he has rest, he's pretty effective.
He didn't throw many pitches yesterday, but he was the loser.
And the 1-0.
Allowing the home run to Duvall.
Six innings today from the starter, Michael Wacha. 2 runs allowed. The 1-1. Now it's 1-2. Cardinals hold on. It would be win number 16 for Michael Wacha, win number 89 for the Cardinals this year.
And it seems like Mike Matheny, when he's had his bullpen at its best, where he likes to have a 7th, 8th, and a 9th inning man. So trying to find that 7th inning guy consistently, and I'd say that's where he's thinking of Broxton, Segrist the 8th, and we know Rosie in the 9th.
2-2, hit up the middle and a base hit. So Hamilton is aboard.
And then you have Seth Maness that you could bring in when you got a double play situation.
Of concern, again, I pointed it out right when it happened, but bases loaded, 1 out, you don't score. Now the tying run comes to the plate.
And we all kind of somewhat thought that might have been a little early to go to your defensive team. You took out Pham right after he hit the 2-run home run. You understand now, putting in Kozma as part of a double switch to bring in Broxton and put an improved shortstop out there.
So Jason Bourgeois at the plate. On base twice with a single to right and also a walk. Wonder if the Cardinals would get a lefty up just in case Votto has a chance to do some damage.
Well, it wouldn't take long for Schote to get ready, or as you go Segrist, your 8th inning man.
Runner goes, Molina to second base. This time he got him. First time he's done it. Billy Hamilton gunned down by Molina, the second base stealer he's gotten today. Finally, he says. He got him.
That is a big play right there. Billy Hamilton leads the major leagues in steals. Yachty's never thrown him out, but this time it's dead. Perfect throw right down there, almost sliding right into the tag.
Reaction to Molina. Finally. Great reaction. The 1-2. And did he go? Did not.
Ooh.
It's a good slider that time by Broxton.
Yeah, very good. I think it got both of us, and I think it got Bourgeois too. You always see that replay, and always looks like they go around, but I thought he went around from our view.
And anyway, it was a pretty good pitch, just like that one is.
Yeah, pretty close right there, as you said, in its own right. Bourgeois got now, what, 4 strikes? Right there on the black.
3-2 pitch. Ground ball to short. There's Cosma to his left. Picked by Reynolds. Molina finally gets Billy Hamilton. We played 7. Cardinals on top. And a Bomberito Sports Update. Chevy called to the pen. Carlos Contreras, 15th appearance. ERA near 5. Well, Billy Hamilton had been 10 for 10 in stolen base attempts this year, or rather in his career against Yadier Molina. 8 for 8 the last 2 years. If you're wondering, Carlos Gomez, now of the Astros, has 11 steals overall. That's the most by any base runner against Yadier Molina. Here's Colton Wong at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. If the Cardinals hold on as they work on the hand there of Yadier Molina, doesn't seem to be serious. Michael Wacha would become a 16-game winner. He would join Zach Greinke and Garrett Cole with 16 wins. Wong slaps it the other way, and that ball is down. Cardinals with 4 doubles in this game. Wong is saying, I don't want the double, I want the triple. Then thinks better of it.
Well, we always say leave the batter's box thinking 2 and make them stop you, and that's exactly what he did. He was rounding the bag there trying to go to third, but then when he saw the defense get that ball back into the infield, he put on the brakes. And good thing he was watching also the trailer. Votto, the first baseman, was right there as they wanted to throw to second.
Here comes a bunt by Pete Cosma. 25th double this season for Colton Wong. Corners are in for the Reds. 4-2 the lead for St. Louis. First pitch taken for a ball.
And I think the defense is sitting there guessing right with you, Danny. Maybe a little surprised he didn't show bunt the first time. So, but we'll see. Frazier's taking a step back. I was a little surprised too. You'd like to see Pete get a chance to, swing the bat, but you also understand too, to get that runner over there, that's a big run out at second base. All 15 of Pete's hits this year have all been singles.
The 1-1. And again, not showing bunt. 2 balls, 1 strike. Have to bunt here, don't you?
Well, you don't have to. But
I know, but I think you know where I'm going.
I agree with you, and I want to see Pete Kozma hit a home run. It'd be the first one he hit since what?
Opening series 2 years ago in Arizona.
13. Arizona. But right now, I think you get the bunt down, you're getting the job done.
The 2-2. Wild pitch.
How about that? He got the bunt down. No. Got him over.
That, right?
Got him over.
It's a second wild pitch charged to the Reds to go along with 3 errors today. It's been a sloppy game for Cincinnati, but still, it's only 4-2.
They're in it. That's why that is such a big run out there. And said the wild pitch, the balk, were instrumental in the Cardinals getting on the board the first 2 runs. Infield in now.
And a ground ball that's hit to second. So Kozma can't drive in the run. And it brings in Carpenter, who does have an RBI. Came with 2 outs and a single to right back in the 5th to tie the game up at 2.
Drove in Colton Long back there in the 5th inning.
Three strikeouts today for Carpenter. The infield is in to go along with his RBI base hit. And another pitch that gets away, and scoring is Colton Wong. 5-2 Cardinals. Josh Smith, a right-hander, getting loose in the pen for Cincinnati. So a double, couple of wild pitches, and a run scores.
Wild pitch got him to third. Another wild pitch from Contreras gets him home.
Strike 2 Carpenter to even it up at 1 ball, 1 strike. Sloppy game here for Cincinnati. I'm going to call that a pass ball. So 2 wild pitches in this game and now a pass ball. Cardinals about to hit the Reds 9-4 and they lead 5-2 after trailing 2-0 after 4. Popped up. Shortstop wants it. That's Suarez. 2 down. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. So with 2 outs and nobody on, the batter will be Stephen Piscotty. Struck out his last time up, and that pitch up and in.
Now, there's where umpires get themselves in trouble when they issue warnings and then a pitch at somebody's head and they don't do anything about it. You can throw a pitcher out of a game if you think he deliberately threw at someone without warnings being issued. So why issue the warnings? Now you got Piscotty and all the Cardinals yelling at you like, hey, this guy's intentionally doing it.
The 2-0 inside. What you have here is a young pitcher that's maybe not great around the strike zone, and a ball just gets away. It does happen.
Oh, sure it does. But
three and 0.
I like the old rule that if warnings were issued, then the next time someone was hit, whether it's intentional or not, the pitcher and the manager were thrown out.
And that's a walk. That brings in Jason Hayward. Cardinals have received 5 walks today. That's also part of the issues of the sloppy play we've seen here from Cincinnati. 5 walks. You walk that many, usually it results in a loss. One of those walks came around to score. That was Garcia back in the 6th.
5 walks, a couple wild pitches, pass ball, a balk, 9 hits, including a 2-run home run. You usually have more than 5 runs too.
Hayward jumps on this pitch out to deep right field. It is off the wall. Piscotty being waved in. No throw. He will score. Hayward delivers with 2 outs to make it 6-2. His second double of the afternoon.
And his 30th of the year. Driving in his 53rd run. Cardinals have now a 4-run lead here, 6-2. Keep on having some fun. Got Pico, the pitching coach, at the top. That ball just sat on the tee. Just spinning, ends up belt high, and usually those are going to be belted. Scott here come all the way around. First base, score. Another good day for Piscotty. Couple hits, couple walks.
The Cardinals with 5 doubles in the last 4 innings. and drink tomorrow. Just 50 cents at your local On the Run. You earned it. Our Chevy call to the pen takes us to Josh Smith. And the umpire making sure that anybody that comes in the game to pitch is updated and ready to go, knowing that the warnings have been issued. Here's Yadier Molina. Runner at second is Hayward. That's driven into right center field. Here comes Hayward. Molina delivers. And with that, it is a 7-2 St. Louis lead.
'60th RBI for Yadi. New pitcher. A lot of times guys will go up there looking, but Yadi just had a real nice little controlled swing. Saw the ball just sitting there and drives it to the opposite field, staying on the pitch. Drives in Hayward for a 60th RBI. The second hit, another multi-hit game for Yadi.
And Matt Adams will pinch hit.
Keep the hits, keep on coming.
11 of them here today.
Adams got a pitch hit the other day and just rifled the ball into the right field corner. Hit it with authority and also stay at first.
2 balls, no strikes. Be interesting the next 3 weeks how he fits into the plans for the Cardinals. He can show he can run if the timing is there. You never know. It's good to see him back, though.
Oh, sure it is. It's kind of an incident or innocent looking injury. It really didn't look like he was severely hurt himself, but
oof. He was swinging away for the fences on 3-0.
Required surgery. Put the quad muscle back on the bone. Said it was going to be a 4 to 6 month injury, and all hard work by Matt and the training staff, medical personnel. He finds himself back on the active roster way ahead of schedule.
Pretty amazing he's even here.
Absolutely. Adam Olsen there is the rehab trainer. A lot of times you don't see Adam because when team's on the road, he's back with the disabled players getting all kinds of treatment.
Molina off with the pitch, the 3-2 in the air, deep right field, track wall, way out of here. Big City goes way deep. A monster home run into right field.
I remember big Matt Adams. Remember the game he had where he hit 2 home runs in extra innings? That was like a major league record. And he loves hitting here, and he showed you why. Counting his favor, and boy, he didn't miss that. Arms extended. Everybody just looked to see how far it went. Nice to see those smiles in the dugout again, isn't it?
It sure is. Yep, he knew it.
Yeah, he knew it. And look how far this ball goes right in the runway there and bounces up. Pittsburgh coming back. 6-4, and they're batting in the bottom of the 6th. Chicago has tied Philadelphia 4-4.
1-2, and that's hammered down the left field line. One hops off the wall. Reynolds on his way to second base, in there safely with a double.
broken. Reynolds was fighting it a little bit. He was 0 for 15 before that double, and you can see the concentration. Like he recognized the hanging breaking ball, and he didn't forget how to swing. Great places with him, John Jay.
It's 3 doubles in this inning. John Jay with 2 doubles in the ball game, and he is the 9th man to come to the dish here in the top of the 8th. Strike 1. To the count. Reynolds a runner at second base. Hit out of play. On 1 and 2, it swung on and missed, and a strikeout of Jay. The Cardinals, though, pick up 5. 423-foot home run off the bat of Matt Adams. By Budweiser, make a plan to make it home. And by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. Fountain Square in Cincinnati. Were you a big fan of the show WKRP in Cincinnati?
No, I wasn't.
Well, you're missing out.
Yeah, I think I'll survive it.
No, you got to take it in, Al.
I know what it is, and I probably saw it a few times, but no, I'm not a fan.
I think Jim is like our very own Les Nessman.
Well, now I understand that part.
Yeah. .423 feet off the bat of Matt Adams. So Kevin Segrist comes in a 9-2 game. Gives you the idea, I guess, that Mike Matheny wants this win and is pulling out all the stops to make sure it happens. 7-run lead, and Segrist has been used an awful lot this year.
It's only his 71st appearance. He threw yesterday, 12 pitches. Had a couple days off there, and you got the off day tomorrow. And I think one thing you got to think about is it was a relatively close game before the Cardinals got the 5 runs top of the inning.
WKRP in Cincinnati. Come on now.
And I could also, I'm not going biting. I could also see if Rosenthal could pitch the 9th inning just because he needs some work. But there's a few other guys that could use some work too.
You're not biting, huh?
No.
Good move. The 2-1 has popped up into shallow right, and there's Hayward. Well, here it is, the last 7 days. Kevin Segrist, as you mentioned, not a lot of work yesterday. 12 pitches after not being used Thursday or Friday. Off day tomorrow. Would it surprise you to see Rosenthal on the 9th at all?
No, not at all. I'm kind of expecting it, and if I don't see him, because they called down and asked him if he wanted to appear.
Ground ball hit to the right side, and Votto is out number 2.
That's what you really hope for, is that it's a very quick inning for Segrist. Rosenthal has not pitched since the 9th. He's had this series off, right? So you don't want to. Your closer, normally you don't like to go 4 days, and then tomorrow's an off day. You don't like that much time.
Oh, 2.
Eight pitches and 3 outs would be nice for Segrist.
Off the end of the bat and a fly ball into right. There's Hayward. Reds go quietly here in the bottom of the 8th. 9-2 St. Louis. Offense has awoken in Game 4 of this 4-game set. Cardinals trying to avoid the sweep, and they lead this ball game by the score of 9-2. Cardinals will have Wong, then Kozma and Carpenter. New right-hander is in for Cincinnati.
Ballister preparing for the 7th time. See the ERA hit per inning. Nearly a walk, but nearly a walk per inning, almost a strikeout per inning. But I'm sure they want to see those walks cut down.
And the first pitch is taken for ball 1. So the off day tomorrow. Cardinals back in action on Tuesday night from Milwaukee. Road trip continues. Carlos Martinez makes that start. Wednesday, Jaime Garcia. Thursday, John Lackey. All are night games, all at 6:30. Day game on Friday from Wrigley Field in Chicago. Martinez and Pena. And again, will come your way 6:30 Tuesday night. This will be Walker's 10th road win if the Cardinals hold on. Tied for second in Major League Baseball with David Price. Only Jake Arrieta has more with 12. There's the first out. That's Skip Schumacher at second base.
We'll get another shot. Ballister was acquired from the Pirates for cash and was assigned to Louisville, where he made 21 appearances and had a 2.05 ERA.
Ah, yes, old school look. The flip sunglasses. Don't see those very often anymore.
No. Takes a little bit of an art to get used to them and see where you all of a sudden in the sides you see that you could flip them down when you needed them and they'll stay up.
Driven into center, and the catch is made off the bat of Kozma. And in steps Matt Carpenter with 2 outs and nobody on. Matt Belisle, we haven't seen him in a long time. He's getting set to pitch the bottom of the 9th.
And we were speculating about Rosenthal, but this is tailor-made for Belisle coming off the DL. Did that yesterday after missing 68 games with right elbow inflammation.
Two and two.
Ballister's doing the right thing. See, lopsided game here, but I'm trying to solidify myself for next year, and I've got a bunch of scouts in the stands, and I can make an impression.
Cardinals with 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, and 5 in the 8th. 13 hits today. 3-2 pitch, and it's a 2-out walk. Our good friend Jim Jackson has been into every pitch here today, hasn't he, Al?
Yes, he has.
Jim Jackson, the producer and engineer of Cardinals radio for a number of years.
Does he earn his keep?
Hard worker.
Very hard work.
Two. Tom Mee, our director today. Brian McCann, our producer. Danny Martinez with us. 0-2 pitch. Hit out of play. Crowd today of 29,900. 29900. We'll see the Reds one more time after today. Series in St. Louis. $5 tickets available for you at cardinals.com/McDonald's. And the 1-2. Strikeout of Piscotty. Matt Belisle coming on when we come back. Here today at the ballpark, taking in a little Cardinal baseball. Jason Hayward is our Budweiser player of the game. A couple of hits, 2 doubles, a run scored, and an RBI. Also took a home run away back in the 5th. He's our Budweiser player of the game. So Matt Belisle is our Chevy call to the pen.
Forget that he had 30 appearances. He came off the disabled list yesterday after missing 68 games with right elbow inflammation. Last time he appeared was back on June 25th in Miami. I think that elbow had been bothering him for a while, but finally got it taken care of, and here he is in the 9th inning and close out a game. And how valuable will he be with a fresh arm down the stretch?
There is Suarez. No simulated games for Belial, so no rehab assignment for him. I was talking with Matt the other day. He said, I've never dealt with a serious arm injury. This was serious for me. He said, basically, I haven't had arm injuries my entire career. Former starter in the big leagues and found a home as a reliever.
Spent some time right here in Cincinnati.
Yep.
Back in 2006, 2007, 2008, before moving to Colorado. And a lot of our young viewers don't remember when there was only one disabled list, and that was 21 days. There was no such thing as rehab assignments.
Concussion lists.
No concussion, no paternity. And really, people would be shocked when, I mean, it really was almost the sentiment. When you went on the disabled list, that was a warning that you were close to your career ending. Think about it, before Tommy John, before rotator cuffs.
Fly ball lifted into right. Hayward over near the line, and there's one away. The Phillies leading the Cubs 5-4. That's in the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 7th. Milwaukee over Pittsburgh 6-4. Wouldn't that be something if things hold? Get a game on Pittsburgh and Chicago. Would send Pittsburgh 3.5 back. Chicago 6.5 games out. Game number 143 here today. Hayward again. 2 outs.
Yeah, it's the old story. You take care of yourself and everything else will take care of itself. And in Bosch is the final hitter here, we hope. Be a nice way for Belial to break back in.
Jim will have the star of the game coming up on the post-game show. He'll take you inside that Cardinals clubhouse as St. Louis is trying to pick up win number 89.
You remember Tommy Boggs?
Sure.
Young pitcher with a right-hander with the Atlanta Braves. Belial was telling me that Tommy Boggs has been instrumental in his career. You know, has some batting cages and different things and pitching lessons that he got from a youngster, and really has maintained that relationship with Tommy Boggs. And we were talking about it, and I played with Tommy in Atlanta. And so somehow I'm going to make connections after he gets through on his elk hunt.
Here's a 1-2. And he hit a man. Not what he wanted to do. The ball game is extended to Skip Schumacher.
Hold on to that breaking ball and at the top of the shoe. And we were talking about Skip and how well he's done this year coming off the bench. But Schumacher, his last 5 appearances, has 2 doubles, a 3-run home run that was off the Lance yesterday, and 6 RBIs. Leads major league pinch hitting hitters with plate appearances 73, hits 18, and doubles 6.
The 2-0 pitch.
Randy Schote and Trevor Rosenthal warming up in the Cardinal bullpen.
3-1. Three and two. And the Reds down to their final strike, and it's spoiled by Schumacher. Hit out of play. Cardinals trying to improve to 9 games above 500 on the road this year. Go to 39-30 with a win. 3-2 pitch. He's hit a man and now walked a man. Breaking ball and a strike to Billy Hamilton. Was caught stealing by Yadier Molina. Midway in this game, first time that Hamilton has been caught by Molina. Billy was 10 for 10. 0-1 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ground ball to second base, and this will do it. The Cardinals win it 9-2. They salvage a game in the 4-game set. It is win number 89 this year for the Cardinals. The pitching outstanding today, combining to give up just 4 hits, 2 runs, 9-2 your final.
You're right. Your starting pitching was great. That's what we're accustomed to all season long. But what we really did like today was the 13 hits, 9 runs. Cardinal offense was very good, and let's hope that's a prelude to what's to come. Enjoy the off day.
Post